Oh, Master Rule 6? Should Yu-Gi-Oh limit special summons to 5? Debunking this solution people keep suggesting. Master Duel players wanting this card banned. Seriously. Okay, I'm going to be honest. Ever since Selza brought up this idea, chat, of Master Rule 6 implementing something that addresses power creep, this is some I'd be lying if this was if I said this wasn't something that crossed my mind. Cause like, okay, here's the thing, chat. How do you act like how the way Yu-Gi-Oh is now, where aren't we about to celebrate year 25, chat, in Yu-Gi-Oh? Because the 20th anniversary felt like a while ago. I'm pretty sure we're celebrating year 25 in Yu-Gi-Oh, right? How do you actually make the game fundamentally better? You can add another summoning mechanic, right? And that's cool. My hyper summon, red cards. I suggested that it be like pendulum summoning, where like, or you can only do it once per turn, and it replaces your normal summon. I feel like that would at least have some sort of balancing where you can't spam it like, oh, well, you still could, I guess. But it would supposed to be like a replacement summon. But that doesn't necessarily fix the problem with Yu-Gi-Oh! It actually doesn't at all. Like, new mechanics don't fix the problem with Yu-Gi-Oh! Where it's too fucking fast of a game. So, like, unless you're going to put some type of inhibitor into the next Master Rule, like they did with, oh, you don't get to draw a card turn 1, or no more priority for ignition effects, like, how, chat? Like, how do you do it? You know what I mean? Oh, actually, yeah, that's a good example. Pendulums. They nerfed pendulums from Arc V to Vrains. That's actually a good point. They nerfed pendulums, and by the way, they never rebuffed them. With the Sevens era, Konami could have been like, you know what? Maybe we were too hard on pendulums. Let's just make it so you can pendulum. Nope. They didn't. They nerfed pendulums, and they never reverted it. You know what I mean? Like, I look at the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm like, how do we make Yu-Gi-Oh! Not a one-card game or a one-turn game? How do we make Yu-Gi-Oh! Where the game is not over by like turn 4 every single time? Like, I feel like it needs some level of nerfing, and I'm not saying this is it. I'm not saying limiting the game to 5 special summons is it, but I feel like you got to do something, chat, because if you just make a new mechanic, like, that's not gonna fucking solve it. You know what I mean? Even if the mechanic has restrictions, like, I was like, oh, make hyper summon, require your normal summon, but there's decks like tier, the old tier anyways, the danger one, like, they don't even normal summon. Pendulum is like kind of the same. Like, it's like, bro, we don't even need our normal summon. You know what I mean? A total reboot so you could make Yu-Gi-Oh! A resource-based game, chat, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't think that I would like. Do you guys think that you would like that if Yu-Gi-Oh! Was a resource-based game? Because I don't exactly know what mana does in Magic if you use mana to like summon creatures or monsters, but I know Pokemon is also mana based where you use energy to attack. So like, if you look at our two biggest rivals, they're both completely resource based games. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not. Yu-Gi-Oh! You can just do whatever the fuck you want whenever you want. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know how Yu-Gi-Oh! Would you implement a resource towards summoning or towards attacking? If it was towards attacking, I feel like that wouldn't do shit. Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Is already about, like, I can kill you in one turn. So, like, if I have summoning sickness, like, that's cool. I'll just put a bunch of negates up. I'll just kill you on the crackback. You know what I mean? Then I would just play Magic. Cringe. No. If I wanted to play Magic, I would play Magic. Okay, so everyone says no. Spell counters. Spell counters to play spells. I like it. PogChamp, you need to act that you need spell counters to play. What if... So, I never really watched a ton of 5Ds, chat, but what if we had, like, speed counters? Like, okay, what do speed counters do in 5Ds, chat? Someone, like, actually, because I had never really understood, like, what the fuck the point of those were, and they're not even in all the duels, so it's, like, really confusing. But I know speed counters are, like, some of the, when they're actually on, like, the motorcycles in, like, a tournament, they have speed counters, but then sometimes, like, they just don't have them, so it's, like, weird. You go beyond. They allow you to use spells. You have to use feats, but that's just dumb. That's just a new mechanic then. I'll say this, and I said this like 3 years ago. If they do add a new mechanic, I still think it should be skill cards. I think skills could be interesting. Because I think skills would be like, you just get a 1 per duel effect. And you could just print, skills don't have to be like tied to any archetype. It can just be like, damn, I feel like skills might be too broken though. A skill card could just be like a Rhoda. Like, oh, summon 1 plant from your deck or some shit. I don't know. You know, I feel like skill cards are just less broken than a summoning mechanic. Skills, I know, I feel like they'd be too generic. I feel like there would eventually be skill cards on the ban list because they'd end up being too generic. The State of Master Rule 6, what it could be. Is this Nadir's video? Is this Farfa? The only person I've seen is Farfa make a video about
Master Rule 6.
It is. Okay, it is Farfa's video. Deck Masters? Deck Masters is just skill cards. Like, I don't really see Deck Masters as different than skill. Unless you're like, it's because a Deck Master is just an arbitrary. A Deck Master just gives you an arbitrary effect. I mean, you'd be able to use it multiple times, I guess. But a Deck Master just gives you an arbitrary effect that's not directly correlated with an archetype. So I just don't get how that's different than skills. You know what I mean? I guess you could make them more theme-based. You could say, oh, Lunalight's Deck Master is Leo Dancer. But, like, it just feels the same as a skill card, to be honest. You know what I mean? It just feels the same. It would be a weaker version, because it's like, oh, once per turn, every Lunalight monster gets piercing damage. That's not broken. That'll never be broken. You know what I mean? But it's hypothetically just the same. It's some card that doesn't go in your main deck, doesn't go in your extra deck, and just kind of activates whenever. You know, and to me, that's just a skill card. Okay. These look interesting. I don't really know if I can give you any response to this or any feedback on this one, Dark Emperor, because like I'm so disconnected with Master Duel chat. Like, I don't know shit about Master Duel. But this is a good video because people still do complain about D-Shifter. D-Shifter's fine. The Masterpiece card design, that's interesting. And I want to see your take on this. And you also linked it to Reddit. Check the Reddit link. Let's see. I heckin' love Reddit, so we'll see what's up. Oh, this came from Master Duel. Limit the number of summons and spells. This isn't a problem. Unless, hold on. Well, I was gonna say unless people are complaining about Runic, but this was 7 months ago. I don't think spells have ever been a problem, chat. How do you guys feel? I mean, there's very few decks, like some of the decks post Phantom Darkness that played like Infinites, the Diamond Dude type decks, but usually spells is not an issue. What do you guys think of the game potentially changing rules to limit the number of summons per turn? I'm in Diamond rank, and I think it's crazy how it is. We are able to summon and play potentially unlimited cards each turn. I mean, that's Yu-Gi-Oh! In a nutshell, basically. In the right condition, you can special summon 15 plus monsters and play spells. We can fish from our deck and graveyard. Yeah, I mean, usually when you summon this many times, you're talking about like an FTK, OTK. More strategic play. Only exception to passive summons due to card effect. When this card is sent to the graveyard. What do you guys think? Let's see what the comments are.
It feels as though
Weird Champ. I knew we'd get Pegasus. Is it so hard to just request a random Weeb song and not a Kanye, whatever Kanye's doing? You know what I mean? Just request some Weeb music. Okay. The fact that you aren't limited, like it's what gives Yu-Gi-Oh! Its unique history. Take that away, and I'd argue you're just playing a different
Leaf, have you
game.
forgotten that the amazing power of money can do anything? Money!
God, I swear Konami actually just ruined their game. Power creep.
I asked Tanae to write a new flu card. I then asked it to clarify, and it said this was a quick play.
Thank you very much, Prince Blood. Thank you for the donation. I will check that out momentarily. Damn, chat. freaking turned. I have a heater on. You guys probably can't hear it or see it. I turned it off for like 20 minutes and, dude, I swear to goodness, it's colder than 40 degrees, chat. It feels like it's like 20 degrees. But thank you very much, Prince New Blood. Give me 1 second. So the coldest to. All right. So what I'm getting, chat, is Konami just stuck, chat? Seriously, is Konami just stuck? I feel like I feel like there's just no solution then, other than just make the ban list 100 fucking cards, because people are saying like we like that Yu-Gi-Oh has no limits, no restrictions. It's like if you guys, I guess, get this metaphor, it's like that game Knights for Sega Saturn, which I'm sure no one in this chat has played, but I'm gonna get this game. I'm gonna get this game one day, chat. I'm gonna get this game one day when I get way more money. Hold on, Knights, Sega Saturn. The point that I'm making about Knights is that Knights was supposed to be. It was like the first video game. Oh my god, this makes me feel so nostalgic looking at it. And I'm sure all you guys are like, Cap, this looks like trash. Dude, Knights was insane. It was like the first game where you could just fly. You could just fly like free. No, and complete in 3 dimensions and just do whatever you wanted, chat. Which, if you guys think that was like something that was common, it was not. Flying in video games back in these days was like very rarely explored. Or it would just be like rail shooters or whatever. Anyways, Yu-Gi-Oh is kind of like Knights. You can just do whatever you want. You can freestyle. You can just throw cards together. We don't have set rotation, so you can play cards from LOB. Unlike Magic, if Konami reprints Magic Ruler and Pharaoh's Servant in LOB, all the cards are legal. You know, some people like Vintage are going to maul over that, but whatever. However, that also means, chat, that you get decks like Tier Elements, where it's like, dude, can you stop freaking special summoning for a minute? Like, your turn has been 18 minutes long. And it's just like, do people enjoy that though, chat? You know what I mean? Do people enjoy Tier Element? Oh, Chain Link 9. You know what I mean? Like, for anyone who's like, Cap, I want to be free. I don't want to have any restrictions. I want to be like Pinocchio. No strings to hold me down. I'm just going to say, like, okay, but like when we get Tier Element 2, you know what I mean? Like, don't complain, because this is what you want. I play decks like Eldritch. So, like, what do I know? I just know set 5 pass. Yes, Superman 64. Except Superman 64. Hold on. I wonder if, like, what's it called? I wonder if you guys gonna say this looks like trash, or what's it called? Bussin' or trash, chat? Knights. 1995. Oh my god, you guys don't know. It's like the golden age of video games. It's like the gold. This is like right at the end of like Genesis into like Saturn in the first place. Oh my god, I'd give anything to go back. Shitty they weren't shitty then. Actually, I don't think Knights. I'm like 90% certain this game did not come out in 95. I'm thinking maybe 96, 97, something like that. Probably 97. And I don't think this game actually has a plot. You're just this purple guy. You just fly around. Yeah. This is the game, chat. All you do is just, he looks like Oliver. Yeah, I don't know what I played Knights at like a Kmart, and I was like, this is so insane. Here, let's show you guys the gameplay. But I can't say if the game like has a story. You guys tell me, chat. Bussin' or sussin'? Dude, Knights is insane. Sonic Adventure Casino stage. Look at it. It's 3 dimension. And you just fly. This is like revolutionary. Look at that. Fly, chat. Do whatever you want. You're so free. And in the commercial, they threw a PlayStation out of the window. We've watched the commercial before. Sega was actually a very toxic company, which was dope. Why would you take credit cards? This video is getting a lot of comments, chat, but I'm too afraid to look at the views because I don't read my press clippings. I feel like anytime you look at you're just always disappointed. Anyways, back to what I was talking about. I feel like Konami's kind of trap chat because I feel like players like Jesse Cotton, they love the fact that like they can build decks like Thunder and Tier and they can just experiment and like do whatever they want. But there are people like me who just say like, dude, the game just gets like worse and worse and worse the more like cards come out. Like the game doesn't get better, it just gets worse because combos just become like more convoluted and complicated, and then turns take longer, and it just becomes like the experience gets worse for the opposing player. And then you have to play these cards that like counteract the combos. Otherwise, the combos are so strong that you can't effectively have any hope of beating them with 6 cards. So I don't know. Sega needs a Rebellion arc. What do you guys think, chat? Because I actually find this to be not this exactly, but I find this idea of Master Rule 6 and what it's going to be or what it could be really interesting. And I wonder if Nadir talks about